really unique quarterback storylines. Let's spend a couple of minutes on the man that could potentially find his way into the Hall of Fame. And that would, of course, be Jalen Milroe. No, Matthew Stafford, because I had Jalen Milroe starting this year for the Seahawks.
I forgot about that. Bold prediction.
Disrespectful to Sammy D.
No, I like Jalen Milroe.
So disrespectful.
Anyway, Dan Orlovsky, ESPN NFL analyst, who you hear with us every Thursday after 7:30 a.m. Eastern, as you did yesterday. Go back on the podcast and listen. Had this to say about a guy that he was a backup for in Detroit, Matthew Stafford, on Get Up, 8 a.m. Eastern on ESPN, about his legacy and how this game could factor into it.
I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Me too.
But if he wins this game and then wins the Super Bowl, I think he gets into the conversation for like one of the top 10, 15 quarterbacks of all time. And he would accomplish, I think there's only 13 quarterbacks in the history of the NFL that have won more than just one Super Bowl. He would have 2. So like there is a different level in grouping that he gets into if he wins this one and the Super Bowl.
Okay. Hall of Fame. Were you all in agreement that he's hovering now? He guarantees it if he wins another one?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if he wins another one, he's definitely in.
Yeah, for sure.
He may be in anyway, right? He may be in anyway. MVP this year.
Not according to Pat Costello.
Well, if he wins the MVP this year, he wins the Super Bowl. And if you win the Super Bowl MVP, forget it.
Yes.
Case closed.
Okay. Different conversation than what we're about to have. I just wanted to establish that.
Yes.
Is Matthew Stafford, with all of those accolades that Smalls just presented, is Matthew Stafford, in the perfect world scenario for him this year, then a top 10 to 15 quarterback of all time?
I don't have the list in front of me, but I certainly think that he's in the conversation for the greatest quarterback, one of the greatest quarterbacks in the last quarter century. Okay,
let's do that. Let's take last 25 years. Definitively better resume-wise than Matthew Stafford, and we're projecting out Stafford with 2 Super Bowls and an MVP and a Super Bowl MVP.
You ready to say he's better than Drew Brees if he does that?
Does he work here anymore? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I think.
Is he a teammate?
I think Drew.
If
Brees,
Drew worked here, no.
I think Drew is a good one just because of what Drew meant to the city of New Orleans and how he resurrected that franchise.
That's tricky.
Post Hurricane Katrina. Well, I mean, it's tricky, but it's a part of Drew Brees' story.
Yeah, I think Stafford,
which elevates him.
No doubt.
I think Drew Brees, in the moment he was playing, was always considered better than in the moment Stafford is playing. I think Stafford's career will be looked at better than Brees' career 20 years from now.
But Stafford never really had the moment that Drew Brees had in terms of elevating that franchise in the way that they did. So like the Rams went to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff as the quarterback. Mm-hmm. And then Stafford won the Super Bowl as a Ram, mission accomplished in year 1, but he didn't win Super Bowl MVP.
Right.
So, I'm looking at it from that standpoint. I think that's a good one to kind of have the conversation around because, to your point, a lot of people will look back at it, multiple Super Bowl rings. If he adds an MVP this year, okay, he's got those 2 things over Drew Brees. But Drew Brees, Super Bowl MVP, and then Drew Brees having all of those 5,000-yard passing seasons and elevating an entire city the way that he did. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
So if he won that – sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, I hate to say this, but does it count that he brought a Super Bowl championship back to L.A.? Jared Goff went there, but Matt Stafford was the missing piece.
I think if he did it in Detroit, he'd be –
if he did it in Detroit, it'd feel different, yeah.
Okay, so let's go last 25 years, careers that would be better than that of Stafford's. Brady and Manning, obviously. Brady and Peyton, obviously. Peyton Manning.
Mahomes. This is an interesting one.
Rodgers.
I was just going to say Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers was here's why Rodgers would be above. I'd rather be Matthew Stafford career-wise.
If you had 2 Super Bowls?
2 Super Bowls, beloved universally in 2 places. I don't know that Aaron's beloved universally in 1 place.
Yeah, but if we're just talking straight football, what do you value more?
Well, we're not because he just brought up Brees and Katrina.
But just if you're looking at the resume, 4 MVPs in 1 Super Bowl versus this hypothetical Matt Stafford where it's an MVP, 2 Super Bowls, and a Super Bowl MVP. What do you weigh more?
For me, Stafford, but I can't put him above Rodgers, I don't think. I just don't think. So Brady, Peyton Manning, Mahomes, Rodgers. What
about
Brees.
you? Would you put him over Rodgers?
Why would you ask me that question?
That's the exercise that we're doing.
Why would you ask him the question on the topic we're talking about? How dare you?
I know.
Why would you ask
With the guy who played, who knows more than we do. Why would you ask him that question?
My bad.
Because you know why I'm frustrated at you. You know why?
Because you're going to pick Rodgers.
Yeah.
You're right to
And you
do
don't
that.
want to.
Yeah, and I don't want to.
You don't want to, but you have to.
I don't want to, but I'd have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Big Ben? 1-2, same place the entire time.
1-2 went to 3.
1-2, went to 3, yeah. Well, lost to the Rodgers.
Yeah.
You would take Stafford's career over Ben's.
No.
Oh, you would take
Yeah,
Ben.
I think I'd
Yeah,
take
I would take
Ben's.
Ben's.
I
Okay.
think I'd take Ben's too.
All right, so Eli, I'd take Stafford. I'm sorry, but I would.
Oh, I would take Eli.
Yeah, I would take Eli to do it in New York and to beat the undefeated Patriots in Super Bowl 42.
And two of the craziest
Man, come
throws
on,
we've
man.
ever
Come on,
seen
man.
Okay, well,
in the
then
history of the NFL.
Stafford is
Get
not
outta
only
here.
not top to 10 to 15, then he's not actually going to get into the Hall of Fame.
No, Eli's getting into the Hall of Fame.
When?
It might happen this year.
He's going to get
I
in.
agree with you.
He's going to get
They
in.
just didn't want him to be a first ballot Hall of
He's
Famer,
going
which
to
is
get in.
ridiculous. I think that whole thing is stupid. But
All right, so
Eli
you're
managed to
putting
get
Eli.
in. Yes.
So then,
I agree.
So we're hovering.
Dumb.
We're hovering around. Matthew Stafford may not be the top 10 or top 10 in his era, so he's definitively not 10 to 15 all time. Because we're not even mentioning Montana and Elway and Marino, and we're not Unitas and any of the all-time Bart Starr. Any of the all-time greats. Now, you take him over. Bradshaw won 4, but Bradshaw doesn't compare numerically to him. I mean, Otto Graham, I don't know. Nuno, Otto Graham, your thoughts?
Can't. It's hard to compare those guys from yesteryear. You don't want to disrespect their careers. That's why I took it to the last quarter century, because football is so different now as opposed to back when they played.
Yeah.
What about Lamar and Josh?
Oh, come on.
Come on, what? Them or Stafford?
What? Stafford.
Okay, no, I don't know. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he would be the 8th best quarterback of his era. So that's not top.
You have Mahomes on there?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So Brady, both Mannings, Mahomes, Rodgers, Breeze, Ben. So
And you got Eli.
yeah, both Mannings. That's what I
Okay,
said.
okay.
So that's 8th best of his era. So Dan's take per our show would not fall in line, because I could easily name anywhere from 2 to 7 quarterbacks that are better than career-wise
Well,
Stafford.
I mean, listen, Matt Stafford is Dan Orlovsky's guy. Like they're boys. So I understand how that colors it, and when it comes to the actual physical talent, Matt Stafford is special. He's got one of the best arms we've ever seen in the history of the game, and the guy took an absolute beating in Detroit when it was a franchise that was poorly run. He just kept coming back for more. This guy kept finding ways to put them in situations where they can be competitive. And even though he didn't have any postseason success, the fact that he got the Lions there, three times in the playoffs, that to me was impressive, considering how dysfunctional that team was. So I get why Dan views it a certain way. And if you want to look at his time in Detroit retroactively and apply a certain level of success because of what you've seen with a functional franchise when he got with the Rams, I can understand that. But I can't give him wins that he didn't get in Detroit based on what he did in L.A., which is why I think those other quarterbacks that we have on the list get the nod from me in terms of having better careers than he did.
I guess
Stafford did.
The only other quarterback of this time that would be considered a great, and I understand he's hurt himself recently, but Russell Wilson, we would take him over Russell Wilson career-wise if he wins it, because he would be a second one.
Yes.
I know people like to hate on Russ. I don't think that's entirely
wins
fair.
too, that's a tipping point.
But Russ had, of the last 25 years, Russ is probably a top 10 quarterback of the last 25 years.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, because I know Matt Stafford is the presumptive MVP this year.
Yeah.
Got a problem with a guy not winning his division and winning MVP.
So you agree it should be Caleb?
I mean, if we're gonna
Get him a vote.
if we're gonna give MVP to a non-division winner, then give it to Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett had the most outstanding performance.
Well, he doesn't play quarterback.
I understand that, but I mean, when you start talking about the most valuable player, if he plays quarterback and he's so valuable, then why didn't they win the division?
So let me just understand something. We're now spinning the Rams season negatively?
I love it.
I'm not spinning.
How did this happen?
I'm not spinning it
this.
negatively. It's just a take, okay? It's just my opinion. I don't understand. Like, for so long.
Are you doing first take today?
No, I'm not doing first take. Look how I'm dressed. For so long, one of the unwritten rules of winning MVP is that you had to win your division. And, like, to give it to a non-division winner seems a little bit weird.
So you think it should go to Drake May?
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. I do. Drake May was second-team All-Pro. Last year, didn't he go to the second-team All-Pro?
Speaking of dress, before we get into the Sam Darnold part of this game, Are you wearing an orange turtleneck to support the Broncos and just to agitate me? I'm just curious.
No, because Cece asked me the same thing during the break when you left. He was like, "Are you wearing orange for the Broncos?" I am not. It's cold outside, and this is a warm and cozy sweater, but I guess maybe subliminally